Lily, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. But right off the top, congratulations. You have what, not one, but two nominations
Oh,
for a certain something that's considered like one of the biggest awards in Canada.
yes, I am so excited, and I'm so excited to be talking to you today.
Now, hold on. What are the awards that you're nominated for?
I am nominated for Best Performance in Animation for Sky and Paw Patrol, and Best Performance Children or Youth for my portrayal of Kelly Darnell in Detention Adventure.
And of course, the award ceremony is called.
The Canadian Screen Awards.
There we go. We got it all in there. See, I could have said it, but it's better when you get to say it because it gives you like legal bragging rights, if you know what I mean. So that is amazing. I'm just curious, when did you where were you when you found out about getting the nominations?
Well, as soon as my mom woke up, she was listening to the morning show and they're talking about the Canadian Screen Awards. She's like, "Oh, I have to check." And she told me, and I was so excited. And I was not expecting to get two. It's insane.
Is this your first two, or have you had nominations before?
I've never been nominated for the Canadian Screen Awards.
Oh, this makes it even better. So, even a bigger congratulations on this. Look, I want to talk about the nominations and the things that you've done before, but I want to get right into the beginning, though. The love of acting and performing and the love of entertainment. Where did that all begin for you?
Well, it started by my sister was doing professional theater. And I remember watching her in every performance. I'd ask my mom, I was like, "Please let me do it. Please let me do it." So she eventually gave in. I auditioned for Sound of Music when I was 6.
Wow.
And then I got the part. Me and my sister were both in it. And then I started auditioning for film and TV. And my first, I think it was my first audition, was for like a music video for like for TVO Kids for Walk Off the Earth. I got the part and I just fell in love with it. It was so much fun.
How tough is it for somebody as young as yourself trying to break into this business, especially being Canadian? Years ago, it was almost virtually considered impossible. Now there are different, um, uh, you know, roads that you can travel. I mean, one of them is, which has been great, is the franchise Degrassi. But how did you get around all this to get these parts? How tough has it been for yourself?
Well, of course, it's difficult. You have to put in lots of hard work. But I think throughout the years, I've been working so hard and I just want this so bad. So, and I've started to make so many friends, and just the more connections you make and more things you do, it's just so much fun. I love it.
Paw Patrol. Let's get into that. How did you get involved with Paw Patrol?
So I was doing lots of voice acting just from auditions, and I love voice acting. And I got the audition. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Paw Patrol is huge. So I was like, I worked insanely hard for this audition. I wanted it so bad. So I auditioned, and then it was like a few weeks later I got the call. I was beyond thrilled. It's so insane, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.
Now, I'm an old guy, even though I've seen commercials of it. What exactly is Paw Patrol for the older folks who may not have kids and who haven't had a chance to see this?
So, Paw Patrol is these dogs who basically help fight crime and help save people. And it's just it's always the Paw Patrol to the rescue.
How does it feel, though, being that type of a role model? Even though folks don't get a chance to see you, they hear your voice, but your character is a role model for kids and teaching kids, the do's and don'ts of the world.
It's so amazing. I mean, so many people. I love seeing little kids with their little sky backpacks and their sky t-shirts. It's so incredible. And I know that Sky is such a great character to teach people to help others and be kind. She's a great role model.
I'm just curious, have you ever ran into somebody, with the Sky merchandise and ever like sort of leaned over and did the Sky voice to them?
No, but my parents aren't, they love to, "Oh, do your kids like Paw Patrol?" Which is so great because then they tell me and I'm like, "Oh, hi."
So if you were to speak to me as I'm going to do a quick interview with Sky.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try this. All right. Sky, thank you so much for speaking with me. What is it like to be part of Paw Patrol?
Being a part of Paw Patrol is awesome. I have so much fun.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I can continue. That is amazing. How did you just click from being yourself to that? Is it like a process for yourself or?
Well, near the beginning, it definitely was, but now I do it so often. So I'm just used to, okay, Paw Patrol voice.
Now you have another nomination, correct? What's the other nomination?
It's Best Performance Children or Youth for Detention Adventure.
Let's talk about that. What exactly is detention? What is it again? Detention
Detention Adventure.
adventure. What is detention adventure? Again, I'm an old guy, so
So, Detention Adventure is a show about these five kids. Well, the first season was four kids, and then I joined, so now it's five kids. And we help. So, the first season was all about science and they figuring things out and mysteries throughout detention. And this season two is all about history, and we are doing, we have to make this like play because we got in trouble. So it's all about finding my history and like where my family is. So yeah.
wait a minute. Isn't detention supposed to be for if you cause any kind of problems? That's supposed to be a punishment, and somehow you guys have turned a bad thing into a good thing?
I guess. I mean, detention isn't all bad, I guess.
Oh my goodness. What is it about that role you enjoy the most about?
Well, it's so amazing. I get to play a character that's so relatable. Kelly suffers with obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety. It's it needs to be talked about more, and I think bringing that into a family TV series is just so amazing. And being able to like represent mental illness and just kind of have a voice for those kids.
How did you go about researching this? And you're right, this is something very important. When years ago, when I was young, if you had that type of problem, I mean, it wasn't really looked at, and you were considered a troublemaker, a bad kid. Nobody really understood. So this is a great thing you're doing. How did you go about researching this to present it the way you do?
So the character was inspired by a podcast, but with a girl named Ella. She Her anxiety and OCD was triggered by storms and getting sick. So every time she had a panic attack, she would say, "I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick,"
I
which
know the
is
story.
yeah.
That's incredible. So did you like? Do you research this story, or what did you
Yes,
do?
I listened to the podcast and I did lots of research on panic attacks and how people cope. So yeah.
That is amazing. You realize all these things you're doing, you yourself, like I said earlier, are becoming a role model. How does that feel being able to present yourself in a way where you are doing things to help people understand the world, but at the same time showing people that you can do things if you set your mind to it?
It's so incredible. I love being like a voice for people and just I like letting people know that it's okay and just having mental illness is okay and it's just so incredible.
Now, you have I do believe, movie coming out soon too.
Yes.
Okay, what's going on with this one? Because I do believe it's in 2021.
Yes, it's the Paw Patrol movie. It comes out in August. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, can you give us a little hint on what's going to be happening in this film with your character also?
Well, um I'm not sure what I can say.
Okay, but what can you say?
I can say that I will be playing Sky again.
Okay.
And there's some new characters that I'll be joining. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we'll leave it to that. We don't want to give too much away because we want to see it and be all ready and psyched up for all this stuff too. Where do you want to see yourself in the future? Because you've got so much going on right now. And I can assume you've also got school happening at the same time too. And with this pandemic, it's probably making things tougher. Where do you want to see yourself, say, 10 to 20 years from now?
10 to 20 years, I definitely still want to be acting and I want to keep on doing voiceover and film and TV and I just want to do it all. And yeah.
Now, as we speak, Canadian Screen Awards are coming up very soon. Have you heard anything yet? Is it going to be virtual? Will you be able to go to a red carpet? What is happening with that you can tell
It'll
us?
be virtual, which is a bummer, but it's still so exciting. Don't get me wrong, but it's virtual.
Okay, well, I will be sitting back here virtually watching it,
Amazing.
crossing my fingers for you as we wrap this interview up. What advice do you want to give young kids out there who are dealing with this tough time during COVID? Actually, I was just talking to a friend of mine last night, and she was saying about her son was in doing his schooling on his laptop, and he just sort of shut it down and said, I need to go. And she
Yeah,
took him out shopping just to get him out of the house. Kids are having a tough time with this.
for
What
sure.
advice can you give them to get through this tough time and hopefully looking forward to a better time in the future?
I think know that there's light at the end of the tunnel and talk to someone if you're not feeling right and just be open with people and know that we'll get through this.
Fantastic. Social media, where do we go to follow you?
Lily Bartlam with two L's, Lilly, on Instagram. So yeah.
And you need to add Canadian Screen Award nominee to two times. You got to add that in there.
Nice.
Thank you so much for the interview. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for what you're contributing to Canadian entertainment, being a role model. Looking forward to everything you're doing in the future. Yes, I may be old, but I will be watching that movie when it's coming out in August. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Sky does and all the other characters. But I'm really just looking forward to seeing everything else that you do in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I had such a great time talking to you.